Okay, so yesterday we were looking into the default gateway, right? So, so these are the commands we use: netstat-rn and route n. So, give me 1 second here. Okay, so these are the commands we use: netstat-rn or route-n to check the default gateway. Okay. I'm gonna check that on one of the server. I'm turning it on, so we'll check on that and see if it's gonna work. Okay. So, what if you want to have more than 4 physical ports here? Okay, for this router, you could, if you want to physically connect more than 4, what you have to do is you have to get a switch. So switch, let's see here, a switch. Okay, so let's take a look at this here. Let me just copy the image. So this is a router and this is a switch. Okay, so what is the switch? The switch is basically a dummy device here. So this is like a 52 port switch. So what's happening here is this router is going to control this switch, and then this part here, it has 4, right? Now this router and the subnet has become a part of. So you could expand on having more ports here. So that's all it does here. If you just bring in switch and try to get the routing and all that, is not going to work. Okay, you may be able to just print it, but you may not be able to do much with it. You cannot log into the switch, you cannot configure it, anything like that. It has to be a router. So that's the biggest difference between a router and a switch. Okay, so let me see if the server is up. Okay, so I logged into one of this server here. So, can you see it clearly now? By the way, you guys could hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. So let me run this command here. Yesterday we couldn't run the command. So let me type netstat-rn. Okay, now this one is a real deal server here. You see the default gateway here, right? 172.31.12.1. So this is the this is the IP address of the router itself. Okay, and when something is starting with 172, 192 or something like that, that means it's a private network. So you cannot log in into there. So let's see route -n. So it's going to give us the same output. Okay. All right. So the protocol this is using is, oh, by the way, day in and day out, if you want to see if the server is up or not, what we're going to do? We're going to do ping google.com, and what it does is going to start to ping. Ping means it's going to send some packets and see if the server is on or not. Okay, so maybe no, the internet is not on this one. Supposed to, but okay. Give me 1 second here. What is it? 172. Anyway, it's just a bad demonstration here, but when you type ping google.com, what it's going to do is it's going to send some packets and receive some packets, and then it will give you the IP address here. Okay, so we're going to go deeper into this DNS thing a little later, but at this moment I just told you how do you check the remote system is up. So all you have to do is ping. Use ping command to see if the remote system is up or not. Ping. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, I could hear you, but very muffled. Okay. I tried to ping Google from the virtual box. It never helped me ping. It's not working? Yeah. No. Don't do it from virtual box yet because we are not there yet. Yeah, there is one, you have to enable the NAT. Remember yesterday I enabled the NAT? So if I could do from this Red Hat 6, it will work here. Red Hat 6, right? Yeah, it says unknown host here. But at this moment, don't worry about it. Ping is Ping is the natural way to see if the server is up or not, okay? Okay. So ping uses a protocol called ICMP. So what is ICMP? It is a internet communication messaging protocol. So we'll worry about this a little later, but since it came up, I'm telling you that this is a protocol it uses to communicate on the internet here. So very common practice to see if a server within the organization or outside the organization is working. You just have to ping it. Type ping and then the IP address. So let me see here within the server if it's going to work or not. So this IP address is one is 192.168.94.30, right? So if I ping here, it should work. So it's working here. So what is happening here is it's using it says here like ICMP. It's using the internet communication messaging protocol, and it's sending a packet and receiving a packet. When this is happening and you're getting a reply, that means that the server is up. Okay? So at this moment, just worry about this much. We're going to go deeper when I'm going to do the DNS settings and all those. Okay? And then if you want to see a specific port on the remote server is on or off, all you have to do is NC command. NC stands for netcat. NC -v means verbose, and then we're going to ping it to this address here. 192.168.94.130.30. And then we're going to do the port number 22. Okay, so if you are able, if you are troubleshooting something and then somebody is crying that I'm not able to connect to this server here, 192.168.94.30, I'm not able to connect. So what you're going to do is, you're going to come here, and then you do NC, netcat, -v, verbose, then you do 192.168.94.30, and then you give it a space, and then they say they're not able to connect to using PuTTY, right? PuTTY is running on port 22. See, port 22. So you could give the port number here. You just have 22 and hit enter. Okay, so the NC command is not there. Okay, I don't want to get into this at this moment here, but let's see. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to shut it down. My recording control disappeared. I don't know where it went. Okay, give me one moment, guys. I'm gonna have to stop this and then. Okay, hold on. Okay, the recording is going on. Okay, I just don't know where the control is. We are good. So I'm gonna go into settings here and network adapter, and then net. Okay, so okay, let's move forward here. So I'm gonna demo this on this place here. Which NC? So the NC command is installed here. So I'm gonna turn on another server I have here. Give me one moment. Okay, let me finish this document here, then I will do the demo. Okay. So to check, to use this, you use NC command to check server port is on or not. What is, when it's on, that means it's listening or not. Okay, so you type that command. Okay, and then also if you want to check the errors for the server, you do netstat -i. Okay, and it will give you the errors. Okay, I'm going to come back to the once the other server is up. Okay, so let me go back up here in here and let me run the command net stack -I. Okay, if you are having any errors, it will give you the error messages here. Okay, based on that, you will further troubleshoot it here. So you have ETH0. Let me do. So it's using ETH0. In this case, ETH0. So you're not finding any errors here. Okay. If you had any errors, then you could. It will give you the error messages here. There is another command you could check for the errors for the network card is ETH2. ETH2 -ETH0. This will give you the error messages. If you are having any errors in here, it will give you settings for ETH2 and links to PROTech. Yes. So let's see here if we could do. We have. I don't like this one here. Let me go on to the 6. Okay. So on here, so if I do if config here, right? So if I do ETH2 and if I type ETH0, it will give you that there is a link there. So ETH1 doesn't exist. So I'm going to type 1 and then hit enter. So ETH1 doesn't exist, right? So if I'm typing 1, it's giving us some kind of error messages here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Today is not a good day it's working. Okay. So we have ETH4, ETH5, and ETH6 here, right? So let's see here if we could get any errors here. So we type ETH. Let me clear this. I'm going to type ETH2 -I, and then I'm going to give you ETH4. Okay. So I type ETH2 -I, and it's giving me the information here. Okay, but if there was some errors in here, then it would have given me the error messages here. So let's do ETH2, no driver, ETH0. So let me go to CD, etc, sysconfig, network script. I do ls here. So I have ETH2 there, right? So let me clear this. So ETH6 is the new one here, so we don't know if it's using the IP address or not. Okay, so let me clear this and type ETH2-I ETH6. Okay, so let's see here. This is the driver here, E1000, and bus information is here. Supported, yes, yes. Okay, so let's see if it's gonna work. Ping google.com. No, it's not working. But believe me, if you're getting any error messages or things like that, this is the command to use. Okay, ETH2 hyphen ETH2 space, then the network card here. Let me remove I and see what happens. Okay. Supported, and all this here is not giving me any error messages here. Let me do 2. Let me do 0. Let me clear this. Um, okay, the IP address is 172.31.16.88. So let me do the demonstration for NC command. NC hyphen V 192.168. No, I'm sorry. 172.31.16.116.88. 31.116.88. Okay, and then the port number I'm going to look for is 22. And I hit enter here. Okay, let me clear this. 172.13.16. So you do NC-V and then the port number you're going to look for. So I think it's running now. So we'll wait and see until it cancels out. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it's displayed here that if somebody is crying that they cannot connect to the port 22 on this server and you run this command nc-v, the name of the server, the IP address, and the port name, and it says connected to you here, that means it's working here. So what you tell them is there may be a problem with their local VPN or there may be a problem with their local network here. So this is what you do. You have to run the NC command. NC command stands for netcat. So I'm going to do pipe. NC stands for netcat. Okay? These are the simple commands I'm showing you that you will be using day in and day out. And then you do netcat-I for you to see if there are network errors on it. So let me just do the regular netstat-i and see what happens. Okay, I think I already showed you this. So if there are no errors here, if you're saying like errors here, that means then you have to copy that code and Google it and see what the errors are. That way you would find out. Or you could check with your company database and see the error message, and then based on that you could further troubleshoot. Okay. But when you're troubleshooting the network card, most of the time you will get the errors with the NIC bonding. Okay, usually the Ethernet card is not available or one of the Ethernet chat goes down, then you could further troubleshoot the error. Okay, now sometimes the network gets stuck, right? So what you could do is, there is a command you could run to release the IP address and get the new IP address, okay? So to release the IP address, the command you have to type is dhc client -v -r. Okay, this will release the IP address, and to renew the IP address, dhc client -v. Okay, this what it does is it will renew the IP address. So does anybody know what I'm talking about? Renewing the IP address and releasing the IP address. This would be a part of our troubleshooting. So what happens is, on the network sometimes the router, it keeps on giving the DHCP IP addresses on demand to the new network or the new computer that comes up on the network here. So what it does is it tries to recycle those IP addresses here. So if it sees a system is not on the network for a while here, what it does is it takes away that IP address and it reassigns the IP address to another device here. So what you have to do is you have to run this command. Okay, so what happens is when the computer comes back online, it tries to reuse the same IP address. Okay, okay, to resolve this issue, run this command. Okay, so you release the IP and renew the IP here. So let's see if you could do this. I'm going to do DH client -v, and then I'm going to release it. Okay, before that, let me see what's the IP address here. So the IP address of this box is 172.31.19.103. So I'm going to release it. DH client -v -r, and I'm going to hit it. Okay, so let's see here. So it went to DHC client and then authorized reserved listening socket. So let's clear this. Okay, and then I'm going to renew it. DH client -V. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter. So what is happening here is, okay, so if you scroll back, what was the previous IP address here? Okay, let me copy this first. It's 103 right now, right? So I'm going to put 103 here. So what I'm going to do is, all of a sudden I'm having problems on the server here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to run this command. Okay, it will send a message to release it. So I may get disconnected here. So let me see if I am. Yeah, I got disconnected because I released the IP address. So we'll give it a minute here. Okay, on this box, I'm going to not release it, I'm going to renew it and see what happens, okay? Can somebody tell me you guys are following me, okay? If not, I'm going to have to repeat this because it may be important for you to understand this, okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm okay. I understand what you're doing.
Okay. So don't worry about this. When you're practicing it, follow this commands here and all that. That way you get it, okay? That way you will get it. But don't do this when you're running with a link bonding. Link bonding doesn't work with this. So I'm going to type DH client -V. So what it's going to do is it's going to renew the IP address. Okay, let's see if it's going to help us. 192.31.16. Okay, I have to release it and renew it. Okay, let's see here. Network. Okay, let me clone this. This is number 2. I'm going to go to a full clone. Okay, so number 3 came back. Okay, it didn't release it. I will just wait for this to complete it, okay? Okay, so I'm going to forward this on, and I'm going to see this network here. So I'm going to change it to host only adapter. Okay, and then I'm going to do allow all here. Okay, 3F0. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to put in my password. Can you guys see this screen here, right? View, whatever. So let me do IPADDR, and I have to go to CD, ETC. What's the next one? Anybody? Sysconfig. Network scripts. Network scripts. Very good. And number 3 is on. So what I'm going to do for number 3? Okay, what do I have to do in here? For now, I'm just worried about this here, so I'm going to just make it yes. Okay, and then I'm going to do this here and see system CTL, because this is, why am I using system CTL?
Read.
No, but I'm using the service somewhere else and system CTL somewhere else. Why am I using system CTL?
4.7.
Yes, for Red Hat 7, very good. System CTL. SYSTEMCTL. Restart. Network. Okay, now it should work. Okay. Okay, so I have a IP address here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect. What was the IP address? Okay, 192.168.94.3. And then I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to log in. So let me minimize all this here so that you have a clear screen. We're going to take a 5 minutes break, not right now. Once I've done this, I'll tell you. Okay, so the screen is big. So this is the IP address. Okay, so let me get rid of this here. So I'm going to, so somebody, you got a ticket that says they cannot connect and they're having issues. So what you do is you determine that you have to release the IP address here. So what you do is you type DH client, okay, -v -r. When you hit enter, it's gonna release it will release the IP address. And then I'm gonna do -v to renew the IP address. Okay, so I'm gonna clear this and then I'm gonna do IPADDR. Okay, so what we have is it has not done that what we are looking for. So let's try it one more time. So you should get disconnected here. So now you see we release the IP address. So there is no more IP address there. Okay, now I'm going to run the command DH client. Okay, and then -v. So it's going to do its thing. And then it gave us the same IP address. The reason it gave us the same IP address is no other device has that device 194.3. So it's giving us the same IP address back to us. But in actuality, it's actually working. Okay, if this IP address would have been taken by some other device, then it would have taken that. Okay, so how am I gonna demo this? Okay, unfortunately, I'm not able to do the good demo here, but when you're getting all these messages here, that means it's actually working here. But the router, since this IP is available, it's just giving that IP back to the same Ethernet device. How is it determining what devices you need to give out the IP address? Because it looks for the IP address for this device in here. Okay, it keeps a record using the What is this address?
Hardware address.
Very good. Hardware address or MAC address. By the way, I'm here. Let me see if I could go into a router here. Okay, I have this default gateway 192.68.0.1 here, right, in the home address. So let me put this in here. Okay. So this is what typically your router looks like. Okay. And let me go look at this wireless clients here. And look, we have so many devices on this network here, right? So what is it doing here is it's keeping the track of MAC address here. MAC address is nothing but a hardware address here. So for this computer, it's gonna look for the MAC address. Let's see here. Okay, for this, the name of the computer is ZMPTTD, whatever this number is, right? Okay? And then I'm going to go here into control panel, here, adapter settings, and then the Wi-Fi here. So there is one other way to check the MAC address. So you go in here and then you check the MAC addresses. Either that or you double click on it. And you go into properties. Oh, I came back to the same place. No, not here. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, right here. This is the MAC address, right? Let's see if this address is, no, that is not a MAC address. This is an IPv6 address. Okay, so I'm going to run the command ipconfig/all. This is a virtual box, Ethernet, Ethernet physical adapter, but we are looking for the Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, wireless LAN. Okay, yeah, right here. This is the MAC address here. So we're going to look for 386B. Okay, let's go into our here. 386B. Okay, right here. Number 2. You could confirm that it is using the MAC address 386B, and then this is the name of the computer, and the IP address it has assigned is 192.68.0.143. And if you do ipconfig here, and this you could confirm here that it did assign the IP address 143 here. So, but if the system is off the network, so right now the number 3 is off the network here, but the router is still holding that. The router is still holding that IP address for that MAC address. When it comes back, it's going to give that IP address back to that. It's going to give that IP address back to that same computer here, because the computer also saves the IP address what it has used last. Okay, so that way it could easily assign the same IP address, and any settings it has, it could be using it to continue working on it. But if it's been a while here, usually if the device is not on the network for 30 days, usually what the router does is it removes that MAC address and reassign that IP address to another device. That way you run into a problem. Okay, that will bring back to using this command here. So that way when you run this command here, you will get the new IP address. You are actually sending a message to the router here to give me the new IP address. That's all. Okay, so let's see a wired is in here. And wait. So this is the cheap. This is one of the cheap home routers. But imagine what you could do with the ones which are very expensive, cost $2,000-$3,000 here. I mean, you could do a lot of things with the cheap router here. You could actually run 256 devices using this router. It could give out the IP addresses up to 256. 255, whatever the number is, okay? Don't hold me on those numbers, but up to 255 or 54 or 56, whatever. I'm going to see... Don't even ask me what is all this here. I'm not a network guy. But you could do a lot of things here. So there is general overview of a little router, how you could use the router to set up a mass network inside your bigger network of computers here, okay? So yesterday I explained the moment you have more than one router in your environment, it becomes a subnet, right? I mentioned that yesterday. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I think I gave you enough information here. Don't hit your head against this. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it, okay? Just have this document handy when you are going to troubleshoot something here. We're going to have a troubleshooting session also when we're going to go through all the troubleshooting or general troubleshooting steps if you need to use and you're really troubleshooting those. So we will have that at the end of the course. Okay, 256. One is reserved for the default gateway and then up to 255 devices it could handle. Okay, so you've been hearing like this one is using port 22, right? So I told you earlier in the month that how many ports our operating system could have? Anybody?
35.
No, 65,000. 65,536 ports. 2 to the power of 16. Okay, so you could have this many ports here. Port 22 is one of them. It goes from port 1 all the way to 65,536. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use generally So let me put this in a Google and see what it comes up. How to find out the list of all open ports. What are the most common ports? Okay, and then this looks good here. So okay. I want to have a little more than that. Common ports. Okay, yeah, this looks good here. So the first table looks good to me. All right, let's go ahead and take a break here for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to just put this in the document here. So I found this link. So these are most commonly used ports here. So we are on a 5-minute break. Okay, so this is the list of the commonly used ports here. So don't worry about this. It's just the list here. I put it in here. For example, all these numbers are reserved for specific applications to use that specific ports here, right? For example, port 22 is secure shell because this is what we are been using all the time here. FTP is 20, and then HTTP for you to go on internet is port 80. Okay, and the mailbox is run on port 110, and then you'll be using a LAT 443 HTTP. Okay, so don't sweat on it. If you don't get it, don't worry about all this here. This is just for the general knowledge. Okay. All right. Let's move forward. I haven't uploaded the. Okay, so okay, so the next topic I'm going to cover today is the system initialization. Let me make sure I got everything here. Give out IP address. So this is a router and this is a switch. Okay. Okay, so this is system initialization. Okay, in other words, what is called is boot process here. So when you push the power on the system, it does go through like a lot of activity here, right? From the time you push it on, like here, from the time you push it on, it goes through a lot of activity and all that here. So we're gonna see what is actually happening in the background here, okay? Alright, so let's see. So the moment you turn the system on, what is happening is there is a Anybody heard of what BIOS is?
Yes, brother, I have heard it.
Okay, good. So, okay, so the moment you push the button, it's not going to go through any of the memory or anything like that. What is going to happen is there is a small chip on the motherboard. There is a small chip on the motherboard. It's called BIOS, okay? This BIOS has set of instructions here. It has its own operating system. So it's called Basic Input Output Operating System. Okay, so the moment you push the power button on, what happens is it's gonna power on the BIOS. Okay, Basic Input Output System. Okay, so what is this is it is sitting on a chip on the system board. Okay, so what does it do? It does, let's take a look here. Okay, BIOS firmware used to perform hardware initialization. Okay, so what it does is it performs the hardware initialization. So what is happening is, so everything is sleeping. Okay, when you push the power on button, you're actually turning on the power supply, and then BIOS gets the power, it gets turned on, and the main thing the BIOS does is it checks the hardware and initializes them. It tells them to wake up. So it's just waking up the hardware. Okay. So what happens then is the BIOS is the very first item into the boot process. This is number one. Okay, and this is what it does. Number two. Okay, so what it does is initializes the system here. So what after BIOS, what happens is BIOS passes control to, when the system check is all done, it passes control to the bootloader. So bootloader, okay, it passes control to bootloader. So what is bootloader going to do? Okay, bootloader resides in MBR. In MBR. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So MBR is what is MBR? MBR is called master boot record. And it sits on the boot drive. Boot drive means the very first drive. Boot drive means the operating system drive. Okay, so let me just Google it. I'm trying to look for the good visual picture here. Hmm. Okay, I cannot find a good picture, but I will find one and put it in the document here, okay, later on. Okay, so it passes, BIOS passes control to the bootloader here, okay? Um, okay, so we have a bootloader here. It sits on the boot drive, which is the operating system drive, okay? And the bootloader has two stages. Has two stages. Okay, so stage 1 and stage 2. Okay, so what happens is now the control is being passed to the from BIOS. It passes the control to the bootloader. In the bootloader, in actuality, it's passing the control to the first stage of bootloader. Okay, so first stage of bootloader, its setting is MBR. First stage of bootloader is MBR. Okay, and then okay, so let me just cut this here. It passes the control. First stage is has MBR, and second stage of the bootloader, it sits in the partition. It sits in the boot partition. Okay, so let's go ahead and okay. So all these things here, grub and initial, all this is called a second stage of boot. So it goes from the unfortunately I cannot find a good picture here, but I'll find one and put it in here. Okay, I'll explain this again next week. But I'm putting this together here. So bootloader, this is the MBR, master boot record. Okay. I hope you guys are getting this, what I mean here. But when I find a good picture, then I'll explain it much better. So what is happening now is the first stage, it goes and it initializes the operating system. It's called master boot record. So the hardware is initialized by BIOS, and the bootloader, it has two stages. First stage is master boot record. That means it will kickstart the operating system, initializes the operating system. And then passes, and after initializing the operating system, it passes the control to the second stage. Passes the control to second stage. Okay, so this is stage 2. Stage 2, it kicks in the initialization files here. These are the set of instructions in here that the operating system is going to use, grub2, and all these here. I'll explain a little later. Okay, so now the second stages are happening. These files will take over. Take over the boot process here. Okay. So it passes control to the second stage. Okay, stage 2 boot files Let me remove this. Okay. Stage 2 / boot has important files in it. Now stage 2 is in control. Okay, so what happens is stage 2 has bunch of files here, right? In that stage 2, what is happening is the stage 2 part of there are several things is happening in stage 2. Very first one is it initializes the kernel. Initialize the kernel. So in stage 2, very first file that is getting kick-started is this file here. This file is taking control now. Okay, so this file is called kernel, and since we are in /boot, this file takes over. Okay, what is this file gonna do? Okay, this file is the kernel file will do the following. Okay, so very first thing it's gonna do is it's gonna detect okay, I will clean it up later here. Okay, so the kernel file do the following. It will detect all the hardware. Okay, and then what it's gonna do is it will initialize. What does initialize means? Turning it on. Turn on. It will initialize the software for hardware. So what is the software hardware? Software for hardware is called drivers, right? You guys heard what drivers are? Instead of giving them the name a little software for the hardware, so if you go buy a USB and plug it into your computer, it's a hardware, right? But for that USB to be able to working, what it does is the operating system automatically detects that hard drive manufacturer and all that for that USB and install the software here. In the newer system, Windows 10 and Windows 7, in the system which were like designed after 2002 or 2003, they all become plug and play. You just have to plug in and start working. But if you were back in 90s, you would get like a CD. You would get a CD with the USB drive, and you have to install the software, and then you should be able to use the USB drive. And nowadays it's plug and play. You just plug it in, it automatically starts working. But that concept has not gone away because the operating system is doing a lot of legwork these days. So it will initialize the software for the hardware also. Okay. So when we did mod probe, we are actually initializing the software for the bound. That is what it means. Okay, and then number C, what is it doing is, remember we are still in the second stage of bootloader. Okay, there are a lot of complex things are going on. Okay, and then what it does is, it loads the mounts. What is mounting means? Mounting means loading. Like, can you mount this somewhere? I mean, if you're like, if you're setting up a TV in your house on the wall, you use the term mount, right? I'm mounting this TV on the wall. That means I'm mounting this painting on the wall. That means you're putting it on. So you're loading it. Okay. In other words, it's called loading it. So what it does is it mounts the root file system into read-only mode. Okay. And then number D is, after it loads the read-only mode, it kickstarts the init process. Okay. So what is init process is, there is a file in sbin/init. So it's kickstarting the init process here. Okay. Okay. Let's go and take a look here. Okay. So it has this file here, and it has set of instruction here. It's actually this is system. This is system 7. That's why it's going in there. So let's go into system 3. I'm sorry, system 6. So cd/sbin. Okay, so we have this init file here. So if I do cat init, okay. Why is this file? This is not readable. Why is it doing that? Okay, both files on the both system is giving you the error message here. Why? Because this file is written in binary. This is a low level file here. So yesterday I showed you what is binary here, right? Here. So this file is written in zeros and ones. This is what it looks like, matrix. Okay, so you remember movie Matrix, this is what it is. They mean is a binary. Yeah.
Okay, Zafar, quick question, please.
Yeah.
Do you think that the programmers can write the program as a binary, or if they write the regular language, but somehow system converts it to binary?
Yeah, binary is a language, man. You have to learn. I mean, those are like very, very low level binary code. This file is written in binary. Okay, I'm sure they're not just sitting in and typing zeros, one here. They may be using something else here.
So that's what I was thinking is couldn't be because I think 01 would convert I to and then keep doing it. So there gotta be some other way of writing the program or converting into binary.
Yeah, let's see. Do some research. That's a very good thing to research, you know. See, it's actually a code here. I mean, binary zeros and one here. Somebody is actually writing it using that. So this guy, he came up with it a long time ago. And so the information you're going to find about this is not going to be accurate here, but you have to do a lot of research to make your own conclusion, okay? Let's see, how does binary work, zeros and one? Why, how do you read the following chart illustrates? Okay, yeah, I found something here, like this is the same exact thing I showed you yesterday. Okay, there is a binary code generator. Yeah, I mean, now, that's a good thing to do your own research here, okay? But this file is in binary here, so that's where all this trick is going on. There's a lot of complex things are going on, okay? And then this is written in binary. So now this file, it kickstarts the init process here. Okay, so in other words, in other words, what is happening is it's init process. In other words, OS initialization. Okay. Okay. Are we out of time yet? No, we still have 8 minutes. So, which file is doing the OS initialization / has been / init? Okay. Now, this is another set of complex. This is another set of complex transactions which are happening here. Okay, remember we are still under stage 2. Okay, so in stage 2 all these things are going to happen. Okay, so what is going to happen? This file, all this when this file is executed, this sbin/init, what it's going to do is it's going to read this file, read the file etc init tab. Okay, don't tell me what this init tab file is. You all remember init tab file, right?
Yes, sir.
This is where we went up and changed the
Run level.
order. Yeah, very good. Okay, so there was no other way for me to explain at that moment what that file is doing than I just have to do it, okay? So change the boot order here. We went in here and we played around with the init file. So as been said, init file, it reads this slash etc/init file, and then it looks for the number here. We change it from 5 to 3 here. 5 is set at the factory, and then we set it change it to number 3 here. So it does that. Okay. So it reads the init file. Okay, for default run level. Okay, then it reads the slash etc slash rc.d slash rc.sysinit file. Okay, so it's passing one control from one place to another place here. So this is very interesting. cd slash etc slash rc.d.rc. So it has based on run level. All these files are designed here. So if it's run level 3, okay, so it's going to read rc dot, it's going to read this file here. So if you do cat, I think this is also written in binary. Oh, okay. So let me go in this folder first. Which script is, okay, no, I'm going to go back. rc, okay, give me a moment here. This is 7 here. Let me show you on 6 first. So you go into cd etc rc.d, okay, you do ls. Okay, so there is a file name rc.sysinit. If you catch this file, okay, this is a script. Okay, so actually you call this file it reads the rc.sysinit, script is executed. Okay, so what is the script doing? Here it configures the host name. Okay, when we get into scripting, you will know what is happening here. Okay, this is pretty long script here. Okay, what is the size of this file here? Okay, it's 20 kilobytes here, not very big, but it is running a lot of configuration things here. Okay, so it's configuring the host name, then it configures the IP address. Okay, and then it configures the SC Linux. What is SC Linux? We'll talk about it later. Okay, and D is it remounts the /root into read-only mode. I mean read-write mode. Okay, here at this moment it was in read-only mode, right? Now it is being changed to read-write mode here. /root file system into read-only mode. Now it's time for it to become a read-write mode. Okay, it changes to read-write mode, and the system v services starts. Based on run level. Okay, what does it mean if it's run level? If it's run level 3, system v services are the ones we're going to go deeper a little bit later. That if it's run level 3, it doesn't need like X Windows, right? It doesn't need any graphics, anything to load. If it's run level 5, then it needs graphics and all. So system v services starts based on the run level. Okay? I'm going to do a hard stop right now. I think I covered most of it. If not, then if I have forgotten something, I will cover that next week. But anybody has anything, don't sweat on this topic. Don't sweat on boot initialization. I will make it simple. It will come into your question, in the interview question, but I will make it simple, okay? And then don't sweat too much about network here. Just keep a general idea. And then I will put this into, there will be another section in here for the interview questions here. So when I put this in here, I will make it easy for you all guys. But the important thing is, all these are so far informational, all these here. Keep up yourself with the commands. The basic commands, keep it up on that one. The network configuration, you should have known by this now, very good. But don't sweat on all these things here. You could just look it up, these things. Okay? And please use the group chat so that you make something good out of this one. It will be great. Okay? Any question? I'm sorry, you're asking a question?
Once you recording, I'll ask you a question which is not to.
Yeah, you're breaking it up. I could barely hear you. Hello? Okay, put it in the chat here. I could barely hear you. But I'm going to do a hard stop now, and then we'll meet next week.